Hello everyone, and welcome to A Life of Balance. Today we're going to be making some beautiful snowflake luminaries that you can use outside or inside in your holiday decorating. First of all, we're going to do some prep work. We're going to take our ribbon, and I've cut the ribbon to 24-inch lengths, but since mine are going to go outside, I want to protect them a little bit, so I'm going to coat them with some Mod Podge so that they will be protected from the weather a little more than they are just loose by themselves. I chose for this project to go with some really cheap ribbon. I'm using some Dollar Tree ribbon. You could use more expensive ribbon. You can use a wider or a thinner ribbon. It doesn't really matter. Once you have one side done to your satisfaction, just flip it over. And you need to work a little bit quickly to keep it from sticking to the paper. And you'll notice it kind of seeps through the ribbon. And then once you have the Mod Podge all the way down both sides of your ribbon, you're just going to take the ribbon, and what I've done is I'm just hanging them using a closed clip. I'm hanging them to the edge of a hanger. As you can see, I've got all of my ones I've done a little bit earlier, and they're all just hanging here on the edge of this hanger so that I can then, they're all just hanging here so I can hang them up above and let them all just dry in the air here while I do the rest of the parts of this project. So then we're done with our paper here. So we're going to set it aside, and we're going to set it over there so it can dry, and we're going to start working on our actual luminary. So first of all, you're going to cut your snowflakes out. Follow the instructions in the blog post. It's linked below for making snowflakes on your Cricut or other cutting machine. You want to make enough snowflakes that you can have 3 to 4 per jar. I've decided to go with 3 on this jar, and I'm just gently weeding the snowflake. I'm going to take the little tip bits out of the middle too. And once you've got it weeded, we're going to take a piece of transfer tape and put it on our snowflake. And we're going to burnish the back here so we get it to stick to the transfer tape as good as possible. Keep burnishing. And then we're just going to peel our vinyl off of the carrier and onto the transfer tape. If it doesn't go down, you can usually push back a little and get it to stick to the transfer tape. And then we're going to take our jar and we're going to put our transfer tape just on wherever we want. I'm going to go about halfway between those two. Let's see, we're going to kind of go this way, I think. Like that, and we're going to transfer that, and again we're going to burnish to get the edges. And it's a little hard to burnish these because of the fact that they've got so many little pieces and edges. You just do your best and burnish them down, and then work gently to pull our pieces off, again pushing back as we go to make sure they stick to the glass. And the vinyl also doesn't like to stick to the glass really well, so sometimes you have to hold a point until you get it stuck down good. And then just gently go over your vinyl and make sure it's stuck to your jar. Now then, we're going to get ready here, and we're going to put away our vinyl tools. And we are going to take and we are going to put a thin layer of Mod Podge all the way around the jar. Now, because my ribbon fills the neck of my jar, I'm not worried about getting any Mod Podge on that, but I do want to get Mod Podge down each of these pretty evenly along the rest of the jar, so I get all the way to the bottom, start all the way at the top, and make it pretty as smooth and even as possible. We want it to be a thin layer so that we don't cover up our snowflakes too much. They'll be covered up, but they'll show through. You'll see when we get the glitter on it. And so you do need to do this kind of quickly to make sure that it stays damp. And then we're going to take our glitter. We're using our extra fine glitter, and we're going to just shake it on gently. Helps if we open it up. Shake it on gently. We don't want a super heavy coating, but we want a pretty even coating. So when you get the glitter on the jar, you're just going to set your jar aside and you're going to let it dry until it's completely dry. Okay, so now as is normal with my videos, I kind of cheated and I have a jar here sitting that is a dry jar that you can see the glitter is already on. And now we're going to work on this jar and we're going to finish it up. So I'm going to get my piece of ribbon and I'm going to fold it in half. Put a light crease in there. You'll find your ribbon is a little stiffer than it was before you put the Mod Podge on it, and that's because it's got the Mod Podge and it's dried, but I found it doesn't make it stiff enough to make it hard to work with. So we're going to put our hot glue, put a dab of hot glue on our ribbon, and we're going to put our ribbon on our jar. We're basically just going to attach it right there at the top. And then we're going to come around. We're going to go about a quarter of the way around the jar. And we're going to put a dab of glue here. I'm using a high temp glue gun. You can use a low temp if you want, but it'll dry a lot quicker. You won't be able to reposition quite as well, although as much time as I spent pulling away strings, that didn't seem to really matter. Out there. From doing strings this time, maybe. There we go. Again, we're going to take our ribbon across there and kind of just push it down right there. You want to make that ribbon as close to where it's supposed to be as possible. I really didn't do a very good job of that. Hopefully that'll still stick. Okay, I got some rough ruffles there, but that's okay. We'll be fine. Okay, and then we're going to get rid of this because we're now done with the glue gun. Well, not quite done. But we're going to tie our bow. And by going in the middle, we hope we got this so that we're somewhere close to being the center of our ribbon, so we've got as much ribbon to work with on both, the same amount of ribbon to work with on both sides. And you want to make sure, pay attention to how your bow is coming, your ribbon's coming around and coming up, so that you make sure that you're keeping you're twisting when you need to keep the printed side out. Pull our tails down. Make sure we've got them turned so they're going the right direction. What we want is a bow here. Tighten it good. That's a pretty good bow. Put a very small dab of glue back there, just to kind of hold it in place. Now, if your ribbon is thinner than this, it'll hold on its own probably, but I found that this ribbon didn't want to hold on its own. And then we're just going to take our ends and cut them so we've got nice little points we want in them. Like so. And like so. And we have our cute little luminary. That's really all there is to it. Now to get it ready to go outside, we're just going to add about 1 inch of sand to it. I just got white sand in the kids' play area. And I'm just adding about 1 inch down there. And basically that's just to give it a little bit of weight, because I am putting mine outside. I think that'll be enough. And then to kind of give the candle a place to land. And then we're going to get our luminary candle here, and we've got it on, and pop it down in here. Try to sit as close to the center as we can get it, although we're going to have a pretty good look on that. It doesn't want to go in the middle. There we go. Get it situated where we want it, kind of in the center of our jar. And there we go. We have a beautiful luminary with a nice little candle light to it. You can see the candle light there. And I actually bought luminaries that had a remote, so I can actually turn mine off and on as a group, which is kind of nice because I can turn them off and on, so they're all sitting outside and I can turn them all off and on with that nice little remote. There's a link in the description for those candles if you're interested in that. But there you go. One out of many to be made in this household, at least. Christmas snowflake luminary. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and click the bell so that you can be notified when I'm releasing a new video. Thanks for your time. Look forward to seeing you again soon.